Priyanka Khosla. So she is the People Insights and Strategic Workforce. She works in People Insights and Strategic Workforce Planning at Sobeys. So obviously the grocery store chain or space was greatly impacted due to COVID. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the type of work that she did in using people analytics for decision making during COVID. So I'll stop sharing my screen, Priyanka, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Julia. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll just start by telling everyone a little about myself. Right now, I'm working in people analytics and insights at Sobeys, and I worked in workforce planning, turnover insights, you name it, like any sort of HR insights and relating it to business insights. Besides that, also a lot of these special reports that go out where we need to understand, qualitative and quantitative aspects of things such as, turnover, succession planning, etc. So prior to Sobeys, I was working at EY in advisory services. And before that, I was working at Mahindra. I have actually studied economics honors and I've done an MBA. So that's about me. So in the presentation, I'll basically be speaking about the role of people analytics during this whole pandemic. And then I'll be going on to how we at Sobeys experienced this pandemic and what we did and what our learnings have been during this time. I'll start off with a quote by Peter Drucker, which I feel is very, very relevant during this time. It's the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not turbulence itself, but it is to act with yesterday's logic. So it's very true that, what worked in 2019 or even 6 months back has not worked during COVID and will not work in future. The world has changed dramatically due to the pandemic, and all of us have had to adjust our thinking accordingly. Whether it's how we work, how we are actually, meeting over Zoom, or even how we shop, and whether we shake hands with each other or not. Organizations and leaders have also been tested like never before because of this. And this time has represented a great opportunity, not only for HR, but also for people analytics. So it's actually people analytics has been more impactful during the current crisis. And earlier, only some of the best CPOs were trying to use people analytics. But right now, I feel it has become a necessity and it is essential to be used. People analytics has the ability to tell us, what we really don't know, to reveal truths and to give leader facts and data to make decisions that enable us and our organizations to move forward. It has been used in various ways to support the leaders during the crisis, and whether it's to understand how the employees are doing, the employee well-being, stress levels, and morale, or understanding the impact on the workforce, or even overseeing this huge remote working experiment that we are in right now. So according to me, you can actually divide this whole crisis into 3 stages. And the stage 1 is how the organizations have been reacting to COVID immediately. It's the immediate reaction to the pandemic. Then stage 2 would be responding to the changing circumstances. And stage 3 would be readjusting to the new normal for the organizations. So if I start with stage 1, it's basically an organization's immediate impact. That is, how do they actually mitigate safety risks, react to the government directives, and just how do they keep their operations going? How do they keep their employees safe? And in this, the role of people analytics and our team has been that, where are our employees compared to the COVID-19 hotspots? It's understanding which are the facilities or locations that should keep working and what stage, what stage of the pandemic each location is at, and therefore how can the organization support employees over there. It's also understanding which are the business critical roles and the essential roles that are there, and how do we support those roles so that businesses keep operating. So the second stage would be, responding to the changing circumstances. That is how the organizations stabilize and start planning ahead. And the role of people analytics at this stage would be, to understand the effect of remote working on employees. All of us have had different experiences and different stress levels and different responsibilities while working from home. So how has the employee sentiment being affected? How have the stress levels been affected? And are there certain teams that, are almost nearing burnout? How can we help them? And how do we even identify those teams? It's also understanding how do you forecast the talent demand and supply to optimize costs and increase efficiencies. And the third stage would be actually readjusting to the new normal. And this is slightly, even now it is slightly futuristic according to me. And it is how employees, how the organizations will operate in the new normal and what they should start, stop, and continue doing. In this, the role of people analytics has been, how to actually plan for the workforce in the new normal. Are there certain upcoming skills or competencies? Have the skills and competencies changed? And are there certain skills and competencies that are no longer in use? Are there certain other training needs that are there? And how do we even train or retrain employees with those skills? So this was how most organizations, this was what the role has been for most organizations. Now, if I actually go on to how Sobeys has reacted to COVID. So just to give you a little context, so we are one of the largest grocery chains in Canada, and we have banners such as Foodland, Freshco, Sobeys, Irwin Fresh, IGA. And when the pandemic actually hit, the first question that was there that the first problem that we were faced with is, how do we keep our stores running? How do we keep it stocked so that the public is not affected and they have their essential supplies? And do we have enough people to run our stores? Can we keep them safe and can we keep them healthy? So this was the problem that we were faced with. And when it actually hit, as it's an essential business, we needed to keep our stores running. We needed to keep employees over there, and we needed to keep them healthy and safe. So there was also, at the same time, we also experienced a huge manpower crunch, because firstly, we needed more employees. We needed to follow all the safety procedures, and that hugely increases the need for manpower in our stores and even in our RSCs, that is our supply centers. And at the same time, there were a lot of employees going in for leave of absences because of COVID-related reasons. So we realized immediately that to support business as usual recruitment at the stores, we needed to do something. So I think within the first 2 or 3 days of the pandemic hitting, we actually created a whole SWAT team, which at its peak had 50 people, from various functions, because we needed that. So to actually help the stores with the recruitment. So we created a whole temporary process on how the stores can contact us, which understanding which are the immediate demands from the stores and where do we need to help them out. So we had discussions with the management every day, like it used to start at 7 a.m. and never sort of ended. So till now, I think we've recruited around 20,000 employees. This is just the SWAT team I'm talking about and not the business as usual recruitment. So it has been quite a lot. Now, the key role of people analytics in this was how do you really support the leaders by forecasting the labor requirements? So understanding which are the stores, which are the hotspots, which are the potential hotspots that are coming up, and which are at-risk stores where we immediately need to support the stores. So we did this by looking at, talent demand, talent supply, relating it to the public health data, even the sales data and the sales forecasts, and also understanding which are the stores which are having overtime and where we can support them. The second aspect where we were helping them out was analyzing the business critical positions. Firstly, understanding which are the essential roles, which are definitely needed in the stores. How do they have a relevant backup in place? And do they have relevant successors in place? Then thirdly, and this was also done by, this was also a huge team effort because we needed to actually go ahead and speak to all the district operators and set a system in place where they can give us an immediate response. We needed an immediate response to understand on a day-to-day basis how the staffing of the stores is. The third thing that we really helped out with was analyzing the candidate pipelines to make recruitment more effective. We were having a temporary SWAT team of around 50 people. We needed to see, at what level the recruitment is in stores. When will candidates actually be able to join the stores, because we were accountable to the store managers. And also, which channels, what are the sourcing channels that are working for us? Which ones are the ones that are not working for us? And is there a way in we can have more targeted social media campaigns or any other campaigns for attracting employees? One thing that really helped us in this was that we had a base of workforce planning, and we had identified certain channels that are the most important for us. And we had also analyzed StatScan data in each of the stores to understand which are the areas or which are the target employees for us. Whom should we actually be targeting our social media campaigns for? Besides that, another really important thing for us was the effect of remote working on employee well-being, and conducting pulse surveys to understand the stress levels and morale and productivity of employees. What we realized is that, and this is not our company data, this is for all organizations. So earlier, before pre-COVID, only around 8% of the population was really working from home. And now after, or during COVID rather, around 75% of the employees are working from home. So understanding the impact of this on employees has become really important, and understanding this after every stage so that we can actually go ahead and tell managers on how to tackle this better, how to have a better communication with the employees. And secondly, or give feedback to the learning and development teams so that they can have relevant trainings coming up for employees. So what really worked for us during this whole time was, I think as Travis had said, understanding the problems being faced first and starting with the problem instead of actually just jumping into the solution. We had a lot of interface with the business teams and with the store managers and with the business itself to understand what are the problems being faced. And I think this is a really great quote by Einstein, and that if I had 1 hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about it and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. And I think this is true. This is very, very true for any problem that is that is faced by people analytics teams. Second was aligning with the business priorities and keeping and understanding what the business is needing at every step. And the third thing is the people analytics team by itself wouldn't have been able to do anything had we not had the support of the right teams, and had we not been able to mobilize the right teams at the right time. So we were working with various teams, whether to collect data or to understand what is really required, whether it was business insights and understanding how sales and overtime is being impacted, or data governance, or even creating new data sources which did not exist earlier, to get the right data and to get the right insights. So this is what I thought, that from this whole experience, what I really thought was that, these are some of the critical things that that work for us, and that can possibly work for other teams as well.